It seems like Tata Motors has decided to end the year 2025 with a bang. First, we saw the launch of the Sierra, which brought back an iconic name back to the Indian market. And now we have the petrol versions of the Harrier and the Safari. Lot of new updates, lot of new features on offer, and along with that, new 1.5 liter TGDI Hyperion petrol engine on both these SUVs with updated power and torque output. All that will be revealed in this video. So if you are new to the channel, do subscribe to Car and Bike, and if you haven't already, then press that bell icon as well so you keep getting updates from us. And let's get on with the review of the 2026 Tata Harrier and Safari Petrol. Now, the biggest visual highlight for both these SUVs is this new color. Yes, it is called Nitro Red, and now you get this both with the Harrier as well as the Safari. In terms of styling, nothing has changed. It is the same styling that you see on the diesel Harrier, which includes this 3D grille, the connected DRLs, the LED headlamps. Everything remains unchanged. Even the alloys remain unchanged. You still get this 18-inch black alloy wheels on the top of the line model. The Safari gets a set of 19-inch alloys. Apart from that, nothing has changed. You still get the dual tone treatment with the black and red, and the Harrier badging on the door as well as on different parts of the car. Now, both these SUVs come with new top-of-the-line variants, both for the Harrier as well as the Safari. In the Harrier, it is called Fearless Ultra, and then you have the Red Dark Edition. Now, these SUVs came with 360-degree view cameras before too, but now you get a wiper function for the cameras, both up front as well as at the rear. So when you activate the windshield wiper washer, it will spray a jet of water on this camera, so it is also clean. So you get a clean view when you are activating the 360-degree view. Now, as like the front, the rear too remains unchanged. In terms of design and styling, you still get that connected LED tail lamp, the rear wiper washer, you get the beefy bumper as well, and the Harrier lettering right at over here. But you will see that there is a camera right now. Now, this is of course the 360-degree view cameras unit. So you have the rear view from this, and yes, you have the water jet over here as well to clean it. But there is a second camera right up top on the shark fin antenna. Why is that? Well, it is for the digital IRVM. Yes, the digital IRVM feature from the Harrier EV has been brought to this petrol Harrier, and what that does is records the rear section of the road and displays it on the IRVM. Quite a handy feature. Then there is a camera attached to the IRVM itself that records the front section of the road. Quite a handy feature to have in cities like Mumbai and Delhi. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And all these features that I mentioned, including the washer for the cameras as well as the digital IRVM, you will get with the Safari Petrol as well. Red Dark, that is the big visual highlight for the Safari, and yes, you get this new Red Dark edition both with the Harrier and Safari Petrol that has been introduced. Now again, glossy black color, all black treatment including the grille, bumpers, everywhere. And yes, you have the highlights which come in the form of this badging that you just saw. The Safari letterings are in red color, and so are the brake calipers. Now, like the digital IRVM, there are a few more features that have been taken from the Harrier EV, and that includes this 14.5-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which comes with a Samsung display. So crisp, clean view is assured. And then you also get the JBL surround sound system. Yes, you get a JBL surround sound system with Dolby Atmos with this Harrier Petrol. There are new interior trim as well. So here you can see the oyster white trim that has been added, and you saw this first in the Harrier EV as well. But the dashboard trim too has been updated. Here you get this wood treatment with these lines on the dashboard. You get this soft touch leatherette material for the top section of the dashboard. So yes, that is also nice and premium. But the one added to the doors is not soft touch. This is still hard plastic, but that is still, the quality and fit and finish are still good. more soft touch material right over here. And of course you have the capacitive controls on the dashboard, which is not one of my favorite features. I have been saying this in most of these new Tata cars. Same goes for the steering wheel, the illuminated logo and the touch controls, not my favorite feature. But what do you think? You let us know, because Tata has been offering this in almost every new car it launches, so maybe the customers like it. What do you think about it? Apart from that, you get the same set of creature comforts. You have a wireless phone charger, you have a set of 65-watt type C USB port. There is a type A USB port as well to connect your phone, but you don't need it because you get wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You also have this panoramic sunroof, which again is a big highlight for both these SUVs. And of course, ventilated seats both for the front passenger as well as the driver, along with power adjustment, and you also get memory function for the driver. Also, a small update in the feature list is this: you get a sliding central armrest now with both these SUVs. Of course, you have storage right underneath there, but quite a nice feature to have. I missed this in the previous SUV. Now you get it with the Petrol. And all these features right now are exclusive to the Petrol version, the Petrol top of the line variants of the SUV. But Tata says that eventually these will come with the diesel version as well. And when Tata says red, it means red. Look at this nice leatherette material for the upholstery. You get the red hashtag badging over here for the dark. And then you also have, of course, the same set of features that we saw on the Harrier earlier. Now, yes, that remains unchanged. Nothing is new except for what is visually represented over here. Like this black soft touch material for the dashboard. We get this nice finish on the, instead of the wood finish, you get this different kind of carbon fiber like finish for the dashboard trim. And of course you get an all black steering wheel. And apart from that, the only addition for the Safari is the third row, which remains unchanged compared to the diesel version. The feature list is same. Now the 1.5 litre turbo petrol Hyperion engine that is on offer with this Harrier and Safari petrol is the same one that was on offer with the Sierra. Now we tested that car earlier and we told you that we quite like the performance of that engine. But one fear that I had going into this drive was, will that be enough for something of the size of the Harrier and Safari? Well, long answer short, it is. And that is because Tata is offering this engine at a higher state of tune. So it now produces an increased power of 168 brake horsepower, whereas the torque stands at 280 Newton meters. These are very good numbers, not just on paper, but in performance as well. I feel that the engine is nicely tuned for something like the size of a Harrier and Safari. The pull is good, the power buildup is nice and smooth. Yes, there is turbo lag at least up till around 1800 to 2000 RPM, but once you cross that threshold, the turbo kicks in and the engine comes alive and it gives you that push, that pull you need from an SUV like this. For this first drive, we only sampled the automatic versions, which use the same 6-speed Aisin source torque converter as the Sierra. Unlike the Sierra though, Tata is also offering an optional 6-speed manual over here. We'll reserve the judgment on that until we have driven it. Coming to the automatic, shifts are smooth and power delivery to the front wheels is clean. The tuning prioritizes efficiency and drivability, so hard acceleration brings a noticeable delay in downshifts. That said, it works well in the city and at cruising speeds. What I am not a fan of is Tata's electronic shifter. On multiple occasions, I tried engaging drive or reverse and it simply did not register. Now, could this have been better? I feel yes. While the power and torque figure are nice, but there is room for a bit more performance, especially in the Safari. But I'll get to that once I get onto that SUV. But in the Harrier, I feel it is quite nice. It is perfect for it. What I like about it is how refined the engine feels. It is smooth. In fact, there's not much of a vibration that seeps into the cabin. The idle noise is quite controlled, and that has to do with the NVH levels that Tata has worked upon. In fact, Tata Motors says that the three key aspects that it was working on was efficiency, performance and refinement, and refined it is. And I am quite surprised that it doesn't feel like the usual Tata petrol engine. It feels quite nice, and in fact I think it is one of the nicer engines that I got to drive in 2025. Coming back to the NVH performance, the refinement of the engine is certainly one big aspect, but another big aspect is the insulation that has been done to make the cabin quieter. And right now you can feel that the cabin is a nice and quiet place. Of course, the mics are good over here, but I'll just quickly roll down the window and let you hear the road noise. It is quite noisy, but just check this out. Well, you can literally see the difference in how the sound isolation works over here, and it is quite impressive. These are the small things that not everyone notices. As a customer, you might not notice it, but it does go a long way in improving the drive feel, and that is something that I really appreciate over here. Now I'm inside the Safari, and here you get the same engine offering you the same state of power and torque. Now, as I mentioned earlier while driving the Harrier, that the power figures are good, but it could do with a bit more punch, and here's where the Safari feels that it could do with a bit more because of its added weight, because of its longer body. I feel that the extra punch could have been added to the Safari, and that would have also, of course, helped the Harrier.
Having said that, it's not really a deal breaker by any means. In fact, you might not even notice it if most of your driving is going to be in the city. Only if you drive the diesel and petrol Safari back to back is when you miss that extra bit of pulling power. On highways, just plan your overtakes a bit better and you will be quite happy with this engine.
Now, the Harrier and Safari have been in the Indian market for a while now, and they have been quite a great option for people looking for mid-size and full-size SUVs. And the diesel has been working for Tata, but what with the current uncertainty among, especially in the NCR region as well as in some parts of India with diesel engines, there was a need for a petrol version, and Tata has finally given us that with this new 1.5-liter Hyperion engine. Now, could this have been better? Yes, but for the size and demeanor of these two SUVs, the engine does a fine job at it and will keep you happy. And the features that are on offer with these two SUVs is a cherry on the cake.
Having said that, pricing will be a key factor. The Harrier diesel starts at 14 lakh rupees and the Safari diesel from 14 lakh 66,000 rupees. The turbo petrol Sierra is priced at 11 lakh 49,000 rupees, while the recently launched 2026 MG Hector starts at 12 lakh rupees. Tata will need to price these aggressively. I expect the Harrier petrol to start around 12 lakh 49,000 rupees, with the Safari petrol coming in roughly at around 13 lakh rupees.
So what do you think about the new Harrier and Safari petrol versions? Do you think you will consider buying them in the year 2026? Let us know in the comments. And if you have any more queries about them, you can put them down as well and we will try to answer them. And for more such videos, keep following Car and Bike and share this video with fellow enthusiasts who would like to consider the new Harrier and Safari petrol.